Welcome to the Douglas County Public Library Board Orientation. I am Tim DeGhelder. I'm your current library director. I was hired last June. A little bit more about me. I grew up in the state of Missouri, and I really believe teaching others was a very noble profession. So I got my teaching degree. Then I went on and got a library science degree and started with the St. Charles City County Library District. I spent almost 22 years in that library district. It was very large and very busy. I semi-retired and taught English in Thailand for 3 years. My Thai family wanted to move to the United States and experience America. So in 2021, I became the library director in Paris, Texas. And I was there 1 year, and I said last year in June, I became your library director. This orientation is just going to show you a little bit about the ins and outs of how our library district works. You will also hear from current staff members and what they do on their jobs. So what is our public library mission? I took our mission statement and put it on print for you. The Douglas County Public Library meets the informational, educational, recreational, and cultural needs of the people of Douglas County by providing a comprehensive and high-quality collection of materials, programs, services, and technology. Sometimes you like to use a simple acronym, LIFE. We supply literature, information, fun for everyone. Your library life. The library is part of professional organizations, much like the medical field has the American Medical Association. Our library, our main organization, is the American Library Association. Nevada also has the Nevada Library Association. And we also get involved with the Mountain Plains Library Association. That is 13 different states that come together to form standards for your public library system. These organizational standards apply to all 50 states in the United States. First thing we do is we create standards for the Master of Library Science degree. So the ALA works with universities and colleges. So in order you graduate with your MLS degree to be a librarian, there's a certain level of standards that we have to earn that degree. What else does the ALA do? We look for the best practices of service. So libraries come together, we actually share what we're doing, how we're doing it, and what is a better way or a best way that we serve our customers, and we learn from each other. We look for new trends in programming and services. What is going on in the United States? What are the libraries doing? What kind of programs are we offering all of our age groups? Because we do serve age 0 past 100 to all of our communities. So what kind of library programming and services are appropriate to give to our citizens? And we also look for new technology trends. What is going on in technology that we can share with our customers to improve library services and improve our programming? And finally, we have a code of ethics for our libraries and librarians. We need to make sure we follow the Bill of Rights code to give our public the respect they need when they use the library. So the organizational standards, they apply to all 50 states in America. First thing the ALA does is they create a standard for the Master of Science library degree. So when you go earn your master's degree in library science, they have to follow certain guidelines laid down by the ALA, and then you actually earn your degree with the ALA approved program. Second, we look for the best practices of service. What are other libraries doing that we could be doing? What is the best way to approach situations? And we all learn from each other. Currently, I think there is over 50,000 librarians belong to ALA. So there's a lot of people with a lot of ideas, and we come up with some very good solutions when it comes to what's going on in the library. Third, we look for new trends, programming, and services. So we do have a lot of age groups that use the library because we're open to the public. What kind of program are we doing for young children, teens, young adults, older people? We share our ideas. For example, coming up this summer reading, we all do the same summer reading all together now. It's across the United States. So we have one theme, and then we all share our ideas. What are we doing for our summer reading? And it makes it a little bit easier to come up with ideas and share your ideas when you do something new. We look for new technology trends. How is technology influencing our literature, information, and fun for everyone? So how can we use that technology to make a better public library? And also finally, the standards, they create a code of ethics for libraries and librarians. We actually have a code of ethics that we follow. Library Code of Ethics, sponsored by the ALA, endorsed by the Public Library, the Library Bill of Rights. I'm going to go through the list really quick. The library serves all of your community, point number one. Point two, we represent all points of view. So we just don't focus on one point of view and throw everything else out. Three, we challenge censorship. It's up to the person to decide what they want to read. It's not up to us to say, you cannot read this, you cannot read this, you cannot think this way. It's totally up to the person that comes to the library. They find out what they want to learn. Four, they have free expression and free access to ideas. So once again, it kind of falls into that information, the idea that someone has to follow up on. They should be able to find information or express themselves on the idea. A person's right to use a library should not be denied or abridged because of origin, age, background, or views. Once again, life, literature, information, fun for everyone. That's the E. And finally, when you come to the library and you ask for help, it is between us. We do not talk about your questions that you ask. We do not talk about your point of view. It is a confidentiality, privacy between our customer and us. So we take that very serious. When someone comes in and they ask about information, I don't share that with anyone else. It's just between me and the person asking. So the library board does help us with this particular part. The library has policies that we use. When people use the library, there's a set group of policies we follow. And the first thing is we set standards to give service. So there's equal access to everyone. So we make sure there's policies in place for that. And two, we set standards for the general public. For example, behavioral standards so everyone can use the public library without interference. So if there's fighting, talking, drinking, yelling, one person cannot impede on your right to use the public library. So we have a nice thick book of policies that cover things, normal behavior and normal standards that we have. From time to time, we will adjust those with the library board. So our library budget. How do we budget from year to year? Most funds for the library come from a sales tax. For every $100 spent in Douglas County, the library gets about 10 cents in our budget. So it takes a lot of money to build our budget, right? Our budget is also estimated from the previous year, and we get a chance to make budget requests. If something's going on in the library and we know we might need some extra money, or we can cut back on something, when we do our budget requests, that's when we add or take away from our budget. We also look for special projects that might include additional funding. Like right now, we're doing recarpeting, reflooring, and we have a little bit of money to do bathrooms and painting. When you have a public building, sometimes things wear out or you need to keep things fresh, so our customers have a nice place to come. Our budget year is from July 1st to June 30th. So we are getting close to June 30th, and we're working our budget for next year. So our budget will be passed probably in May, and then we will start that new budget cycle. We have a line item budget system for spending. So for example, we have a line item to purchase library materials in our collection. So we'll have so much money in that line item, let's just say $100,000. For that year, July 1st to June 30th, we have $100,000. Every time we buy materials, the books, we deduct from that $100,000. We have less money to spend. So if I spend $2,000 in September, I have $98,000 left. If I spend $10,000 in October, I have $88,000 left. And we have different line items for different things in the library. And finally, for some of the staff costs, the county does work with a collective bargaining agreement. So some of the staff issues when it comes to retirements and percentage raises, things like that, that's something that is set by the county. It's not actually set by the library. Staffing. What kind of people work at the library? Well, we have one information desk that's combined with the circulation desk. At that particular desk, people check out materials. They use that particular desk. But they also ask us questions about materials we have. How can I find something on this? Or do you have any digital resources that will help me write my paper? How do I get access to your ebooks? So that circulation desk, information desk, sometimes it's a simple checkout. Sometimes it's a little bit more in-depth, finding more information than what the person needs. We also have an area we have public computer stations, and that's linked to software programming and our digital resources. So we have a different set of skill levels for everyone that walks in. Someone might need to help with their email or print off a file or do something online, and they need lots of help. And sometimes people just walk in and they know exactly what they're doing. So we also have people that give them a little bit of help when they need it. Our staffing levels, we have our library page. That's our entry level position. They are the keepers of the collection, so to speak. They make sure everything is in the right place so that when we go to find it for our customers, we know where things are. They also make sure, little housekeeping, to make sure that our branch looks good, looks nice. So they may do some cleaning, some dusting, shelf shifting on the shelves. They do the drop box. They help people when they get lost. They may sweep up a little bit here and there, so they just make the building nice and everything goes into the right location. They also help with labeling and other things needed by the staff. Our library tech, they work part of the circulation shift. And they also have a specialty assigned to them, like maybe young adult, or maybe they help with social media services. Maybe they do something with the bookmobile. So our library tech works the circulation, and they have some sort of group. They help with programming, and they look for outreach or materials. The senior library tech, similar duties. They work the circulation desk, information desk. They have they may have a group they're assigned to, and then they also might have extra library duties, like maybe ordering ebooks or helping with the web page, or doing special duties as assigned. Sometimes they involve keeping track of carts, money, ordering, stuff like that. And then our librarians, they are the ones that have our degrees, and they try to do any kind of training we need to have. They also work the circulation desk, the reference desk. Most of the time they're put into a department, like maybe they're the adult services librarian, and they take care of everything adults. And they also do ordering of the materials in adults. They also do programming with adults. And sometimes they supervise the senior library tech, the library tech, and the pages. So we all work together and get things done. All right, using the library card. Douglas County residents get a free library card. With that library card, you can check out materials from the library. And we have two locations, the Minden Library location, and then we have the Lake Tahoe branch at the lake. So your library card works for both locations. You can check out materials from the library. You can also check out a PC. So when you go to the PC station, type your library card number in, log on, do your business, log off when you're done. We have a library catalog that you can search from home to see what we have, and you can actually place your reserve from home. So if you hear about a new book that came out or a new movie and you want to get in line for it, if we have it on the shelf, we'll pull it, contact you, you just come up, ask for your reserve. If there's a line, you'll just get yourself in line. Maybe you'll be the third person in line, and then when it rotates through and it's your turn, we will contact you when your materials are ready. It also allows you to access to free ebooks and free audiobooks. Big, big cost saver for you. So you can either put your app on the phone, and when you put your library card number in, it attaches to Douglas County Public Library. You may search our ebooks under Libby, and one of my staff members will go over that a little bit later in the presentation. And we also have access to Hoopla, they will go over later in the presentation. But the point is, not only do you get physical materials, but you get digital materials with your library card. And finally, most materials can be checked out for 3 weeks, and we no longer charge fines or fees. So if you bring your family up and you check out 10 children's books for little Johnny and 10 children's books for little Mary, if they come in late, we won't be charging you 25 cents a day. We do ask if you can renew those. It would be great, so we know that they're still checked out. But if you bring them back a little bit late, it's okay. We know people have busy lives. And things move on from there. So that is using your library card. So we have so much going on at the library. People ask, how do you tell everybody what's going on at the library? So marketing our services. We have in-house flyers. So anytime someone comes to the circulation desk, reference desk, we have printouts of all of our programs. They can grab a flyer and go. We also have flyers at the very front of the library. If they just want to see them all in one location, they can casually browse our message board. From time to time, we will put out a public service announcement when we're doing something a little bit bigger, like maybe a tiny art show or a summer reading, or we want to get more interest in our knitting club. We may put out a public service announcement to get picked up by the newspaper and other departments. We also use a variety of calendar message boards, like sometimes the chamber calendar. We may put some of our programming on the chamber's calendar, like maybe we're going to have a big book sale or something. We want to cross-advertise what we're doing so other people know what's going on at the library. We also really started doing heavily social media. People just like to browse what's going on at the library, and they want things to be delivered to their phone. So let's take a real quick look at our Facebook page. It shows you information about the library, our address, the hours we're open. But here, you can actually see the date and time of an event, and people can ask us questions. Science club, that was our knitting club. History month, making sure people also realize we have those ebooks, those downloadable books. Saturday movies, what's going to come up to Saturday movies. When we had weather issues, let people know what was canceled weather-wise. Sometimes we just ask questions. What's your favorite book? What are you reading? How are you celebrating? What are you doing this weekend? Just casual, fun conversation with people. This is heavily used. On average, each post on Facebook, we get between 500 and 1,000 views. And what's also great about this is if they see something they like, they can share it with a friend. So if someone wants to tell someone else about what's going on at the library, they can just share it to somebody else's Facebook page. So we get that information. Here's a sample of our TikTok page. What's great about TikTok, it is mainly videos. And we try to make them fun, silly. They're normally under a minute. And teenagers and young adults, they use TikTok. So we get into that teen crowd, and they just think it's great to see what the library's doing. So we'll share a short TikTok video of our Reading Pause program. So it shows you the pup, and it shows you why we do what we do. Why is it important to have something like this program going on in Douglas County? All right. I have to say, the more outrageous the TikToks we have, the more popular they are. But that's the fun part about this. You can dance around the room, throw up a book, catch it. People think that's the greatest thing in the world, is just having a good time. But we try to get a message across normally when we do it. We create newsletters that you can pick what newsletter you're interested in. And we send that out as a monthly newsletter for you as a customer to decide what you're interested in. Finally, we have on our library website, We have a full calendar and highlighted programs. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. So off our website, you'll see the particular month, and each day is a list of what is happening at the library that day. It's sorted by program title, time, what age group. So you can find out if there's something going on in the library that interests you or your family. Friends of the library. We actually have a group of citizens that support Douglas County Public Library. They are a separate 501c3. They have a separate board, a group of individuals that run the Friends of the Library. Their mission is to support library program and help offset library costs. They try to help raise money for the library so we can do extra cool things. Currently, we have over 300 plus Friends members in our community. So they buy a membership individually, maybe they'll buy a family membership or a corporate membership. And I think over 300 people interested in supporting the library is a pretty cool thing. And when you're friends of the library, some of them help sort our book donations that come into the library. So they actually come in and help us sort through a way for us to recycle those books. One way to recycle our book is through our lobby book sale. So when the library is open, we sell books at the lobby. They're clean books, they're in good shape, and people can just buy their favorite book, take it home, or give it as a gift to a friend. And they're really cheap. Most are $2 or less. I think our kids' books are 25 cents. Our movies were 50 cents. That money goes towards the Friends. And also, when we have more and more book donations, we have a yearly sale. So once a year, we have a bigger library book sale where families can come together. Normally, it's a 3-day event, and come up and look through all the donations we got for the year and see if there's something they want to take home for their personal library. This year, 2023, the Friends of the Library are pledged to give us over $15,000 in funding, so that money, like when it comes to summer reading prizes, we can get some really cool prizes to encourage our community to read over the summer and keep their minds active. The Friends of the Library also have an online merchandise store. You can get to that store from our library page, and let me show you what that looks like. If you clicked on the library page, you will actually see there are library designs related to Douglas County, and just literature and fun things. If you go to buy one of these items, you can actually see what type of merchandise we have under our Library Cats design. If you buy one of these designs, it gets mailed straight to your house, and the library gets a percentage of sales. And the Friends of the Library support that, and we have some very talented staff that help keep the designs fresh. October of 2023, the Friends of the Library, we will be having our first gala event. All together now, a magical evening that will be in October, and we will have a chance for everyone to come together and support some projects for the library. Volunteering at the library. Getting public support at the library. Citizens want to help and be involved in their public library. And we have lots of opportunities for our citizens to be involved in the library. First thing we do is we try to talk with all of our potential volunteers and let them know what you'll be doing at the library. So we kind of meet and say, you can do this, you can clean the shelves, you can sort some books, you can reshelve some things. And if they're interested in doing that, we have them sign up a background check through the county, and that does take about 6 weeks to do a full background check. And then our volunteers get put on a volunteer schedule, and we try to make it a permanent schedule. So for example, a volunteer will work every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. That's their shift, because we currently have 41 volunteers. We went from 0 to 41, and we don't want them all to come on the same day. We want to spread them out so they can help our staff members do special projects and help us keep up to date with special issues we have. But we do encourage people to volunteer at the library, and some of these volunteer duties may be changing in the future the more volunteers we have. So the library has a new 5-year strategic plan. The Douglas County Public Library passed the new plan in October of 2022. The strategic plan was put together with public input. The public was asked what they wanted to see from the library in the next 5 years. The main goal is to keep the library relevant in reaction to the general public. This plan can be viewed on the library webpage under About the Library. The full plan is about almost 150 pages. So when you go to the webpage, you have an opportunity to see the strategic plan, and you get to see what input was put in from the general public, how that input was made into goals, and what would be the goal for 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027. So it's an interesting read if you have the time. We also have a condensed version, a 1-page version of our strategic plan that is also under this page. Douglas County Public Library, the Minden location. We are also host the County Law Library. So we're the current location of the Douglas County Law Library. We have legal online resources and certain print materials that make this location a law library for the state of Nevada. The materials are here for our customers to look up legal information. The Douglas County Public Library, our staff does not give legal advice. So if someone wants to come in and file their own divorce, they can go to the law library, look for sample divorce forms, but each divorce is unique to families and incomes in certain situations. We do not give legal advice on how to file that. We just show them that there's a divorce packet, and it's up to the individual person to figure out how they want to use that legal information. But the legal information is there in our law library. Thank you for watching today's video on the library board orientation. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure we did not cover everything the library does, so you may have questions. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to contact me. Once again, Tim DeGhelder. Our contact information will be below the video. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to give me a call. Thank you again.